this is me. My name is Samantha Riley, or Sam, or Sammy, and this is kind of the story of how I got to where I am today. I was born and raised in a tiny little town just west of Indianapolis. I'm an introvert. I've always been a very quiet person. As a kid, I usually always had my nose in a book, and eventually, I gathered so many books that if you had looked in my room, you would have thought it was a library. I loved school as a kid. I loved science, art, history, pretty much everything. Except for math. Math was never my thing. When I started high school, I was given the choice of learning Spanish or French. It was an easy decision for me. I knew from a young age that I wanted to learn French. Now, I'm not exactly sure where my love for French came, but as a kid, I constantly dreamed of sitting underneath the Eiffel Tower, living in Paris, speaking the language, eating the food. I loved it all. Despite my love for the language, there were many times when I wanted to give up. Learning a language is hard, but thankfully I had an amazing teacher, Mademoiselle Klein, who really encouraged me to keep going and changed the path of my life. She encouraged me to apply for an IU study abroad program for the summer of 2015. I didn't think I'd make it because I was not good, and so I put in my application thinking it would be, worth a shot, and much to my surprise, I got in. I was absolutely terrified. Next thing I knew, I was on the plane, and I was on my way to France. I couldn't believe it. This is about where I stayed. Pardon my map drawing skills. This study abroad experience really changed everything. I was in love. I loved everything from the food to the experiences with my host family, and I decided that I wanted French to be a part of my life for as long as I could possibly make it. A couple of years later, I graduated with my high school diploma and I moved on to college. And so I enrolled at IUPUI and I became a Jaguar. I had no idea at the time that it would be the perfect school for me. I didn't know much about the school, but it was exactly what I needed. Going into college, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to study French, but I wanted a second major and I didn't really know what else I was interested in. I decided that I wanted to major in journalism because I loved photojournalism, but it wasn't for me. I decided to take Human Origins and Prehistory with Dr. Jeremy Beach, and that's when I found out that anthropology is fascinating. I was always so excited to share the things that I was learning, like the fact that our mouths are getting smaller over time because our diets are getting softer, and that's why we need braces, whereas other animals don't. Even just learning about things like the existence of the 10-foot Gigantopithecus, it blew my mind. It's basically Bigfoot. Are they still out there? I mean, they're not, but cool idea, right? After that, I started to take more anthropology courses. I loved how diverse the field was. Through Dr. Vogt, I learned about migration and gender studies. Through Dr. Mullins, I discovered that archaeology has an incredible power to tell such strong stories from the past, and digging stuff is pretty cool. And through Dr. Wilson this semester, I've been learning how to understand what bones look like and what their various markings mean, which, I'll be honest, hasn't exactly been easy, as I'm not super scientifically minded, but it's been an amazing challenge. And with Dr. Hyatt, I was given the incredible opportunity to help with a research project on Jewish immigrants. I went to the Indiana Historical Society and looked at boxes and boxes of original materials, and the stories that I found were amazing. My time as an undergraduate student is quickly coming to an end. Graduation is just around the corner. My next step for right now is to apply for master's programs in anthropology. So, at the end of all of this, you may be asking, what's next? What do you hope to do now? I don't know. All I know is that I want to do something to help make a positive change in people's lives. I want to look at inequalities in the world and try to help in whatever ways I can. My time at IUPUI has changed me both as a scholar and as an individual. I've made so many new connections and I've learned new skills. Like, for example, now I can finally defend my loud opinions with academic vocabulary. I'm looking forward to seeing what this next chapter of my life brings and how these experiences can help me in the future.